The concept of price elasticity of demand is very important and very helpful and very valuable for the government to decide, for example, if they want to increase the excise tax or the sin taxes on alcohol and cigarettes, etc., or for a producer or a business person, entrepreneur, if he wants to increase the price of his good or to decrease of the price of his goods or service, he needs to know what will be the impact on his total revenue and his profit in the end. He doesn't want to increase the price, and then what happens with his total revenue or his profit will decline. So he needs to know, is the product or the elasticity of demand for his product inelastic or elastic, and based on that, he will then decide, must I increase or decrease the price of my product. Like I said, the government also is important for the government, especially the Minister of Finance. And now with Eskom, that has applied for, for an increase in the electricity tariff, they use the concept of price elasticity of demand to determine what will happen with their total revenue, and in the end, what impact will it have on the profit. So the next section is very important in terms of the exam as well, the relationship between price elasticity of demand and total revenue. Now, we know what is price elasticity of demand, right? But what is total revenue? Total revenue of a business or total expenditure is the same. But we're looking at from the perspective of a seller or producer. Because when what is total revenue is the price of a product, the price that you ask, times the quantity sold, right? So say, for example, if the price of a product is, just for example, is 5 Rand, and the quantity that you sell is 1,000, then the total revenue will be 5,000. Just hypothetically, right? A very simple example. So the total revenue consists of the price that you ask for the goods or service and the quantity that you sell. Now, we only focus on total revenue, but total expenditure is exactly the same, because total expenditure is the price and the number of units sold. That is from the consumer's perspective. But from the seller's perspective, total revenue will always be equal to total expenditure. So we focus on total revenue from the seller's side, right? Okay. So total revenue consists of P times Q. Now, what is important is that what will happen with total revenue will depend on what type of elasticity is applicable. So I will deal with all the the main three categories of price elasticity of demand, because that you will be tested on the exam. When ED is greater than 1, that means the demand for the product is elastic. Then we will look at if there's a change in the price, what will happen with total revenue. So we will focus on, you can also look at the slide, when ED is greater than 1, then it's elastic, the demand for the product is elastic. Now what does that mean? The percentage change in the quantity demanded is greater than the percentage change in the price. Okay? That is when the demand is elastic. Now, based on that, if the seller wants to increase the price, what will happen with total revenue? If the seller wants to decrease his price when the demand for his product is elastic, what will happen with total revenue? So we need to determine this is the relationship between price and total revenue when the demand is elastic. Now we know when the price goes up, what happens with quantity demanded? Quantity demanded goes down. That is according to the law of demand. Price and quantity demanded is inversely related. But when the demand is elastic, it means that if the price goes up, the percentage change in the price will be smaller than a percentage change in the quantity demanded. So the percentage change in the quantity demanded will be, say, 20%, and the percentage change in the price might only be 10%. So this is when the demand is inelastic or elastic. So what will be the effect on total revenue? Because when the demand is elastic, if the price goes up, the percentage change in the quantity demanded will come down. Percentage change in quantity demanded will decrease by 20%, whereas the price have increased by 10%. So what will then happen based on this with total revenue? There will be less sold. The percentage change in quantity demanded comes down with 20%, and the price increased by 10%, so it means what will happen with total revenue will decline, because the percentage change sold will be more than the percentage change in increase in the price. On the opposite side, if the demand is elastic and if the price decrease, say by 10%, okay, what will happen with the percentage change in the quantity demanded in terms of your law of demand will increase by 20%. Okay, so it means that more people will buy your product now because it's less expensive, and in that case, what will happen with total revenue? Because of the link between price and quantity demanded, total revenue will now increase, right? Now we can look at certain, to make it more practical, here we can look at, say for example, you have seen some products like plasma TVs, cell phones, all of these products are sometimes placed on a special for a couple of days or maybe a couple of weeks. And what is the rationale behind it? Why is the seller or the business placing it on a special for? Because if you decrease the price, people that couldn't afford the product earlier can now afford it. The lower income groups, and then what will happen with this quantity demanded will increase. Quantity demanded will increase, and the quantity demanded will increase by more than the decrease in the price. And because of that, for that period, his total revenue will increase for that period. But he cannot do it for an unlimited period of time. That will only be for a certain period of time. So that is a good example where you will see sometimes specials on luxury products, because if you increase it, your total revenue will decrease because of this link. So to summarize, and you will see also there's an exhibit there in your textbook, exhibit which summarizes this, exhibit number 6, which you can look at. If maybe we can have a look at it, and just to go back to it, which will then summarize this. This is the exhibit, just to alert you to this. And from that you can see, if ED is greater than 1, if the price increase, total revenue will decrease. If the price decrease, total revenue will increase. If you go back to what we have seen here, right? Price increase, total revenue decrease. Price decrease, total revenue increase. So when another important point that you can remember here is that when the demand for product is elastic, the price and total revenue move in opposite directions. Okay? And this is a key factor or point that you can remember. When the demand is elastic, price and total revenue move in opposite directions. Okay, the second category of elasticity that we're going to look at, when ED is smaller than 1, then what are we saying? When ED is smaller than 1, we are saying that the demand for the product is inelastic. So what does that mean? When the demand for the product is inelastic, it simply means that the percentage change in the quantity demanded is smaller than the percentage change in the price of the product. Okay? So this is the meaning of ED smaller than 1, and the demand for the product is inelastic. So if you look at this, what are we saying? If the price then changes, what will happen with total revenue if the demand is inelastic? If the price goes up or if the price goes down, what will happen with total revenue? Now, if the demand for the product is inelastic, and if the producer or the seller of that goods or service decide then, I want to increase my total revenue, I want to have more profits potentially, and I can do that by increasing my price. So if we increase the price, what will happen with the quantity demanded? The quantity demanded will go down. Is that correct? Yeah. But what you must remember now is, it's correct because of the law of demand. But now in terms of percentage changes, the quantity demanded, the percentage change in the price is now bigger than the percentage change in the quantity demanded. So even if the price went up, the percentage change in the price will be bigger than the percentage change in the quantity demanded. So because of that, what will happen with total revenue? Total revenue will increase, and this is applicable now to Eskom. Eskom has been given an 8% increase. They've asked for 16% in electricity tariffs from the 1st of April for the next couple of years. So why did they ask for a tariff increase? Because they know that the demand for electricity is inelastic. People need electricity. So even if they increase the price of electricity, their total revenue will increase because the demand for the product is inelastic. People will still demand electricity, and the percentage change in the price will be bigger than the percentage change in the quantity demanded because the demand is inelastic. But Eskom won't ask for a decrease in the price of electricity because that will lead to total revenue declining. Because why? If the price decreases, what will happen with quantity demanded? It will increase, but the percentage change in quantity demanded will be less than the percentage decrease in the price. So what will happen now? Because of the decrease in the price, it will be what? The percentage change in the quantity demanded will be less than the percentage change in the price. So it means that the price has decreased, and then what will happen with the quantity demanded? Has increased, but by less than the decrease in the price. So because of that, what will happen with the total revenue? Eskom's total revenue will then decline. Okay? Although the price has decreased, the quantity demanded has increased, but the quantity demanded has increased by less than a decrease in the price. So in the end, the total revenue will be negatively affected. So just to look at this example again, just to summarize. So when the demand is inelastic, price and total revenue moves in the same direction. So if the price increase, total revenue increase. If the price decrease, total revenue decrease. Okay, so that is an important point to remember in terms of inelastic demand. And this is also applicable now. During February, the Minister of Finance increased the excise tax, the sin taxes on cigarettes and alcohol. Why? Because the demand for cigarettes and alcohol is inelastic. It's a habit-forming article. People will still buy it. And this is a very practical example also of an inelastic demand and what will happen with total revenue. And the government knows that even if they increase the excise tax every year, the total revenue from excise taxes will just increase year on year. Okay? Right, let's look at the last category that I'm going to look at is ED is equal to 1. Now when ED is equal to 1, then we say it's unit elastic. So when the demand is unit elastic, it means that the percentage change in the quantity demanded is equal to the percentage change in the price of the product. So that's why it's equal to 1. Now, what happens here? What effect will it have on price changes? What effect will it have on total revenue if the price changes? So if the government or whatever business, private sector wants to change prices because they want to increase or decrease or to increase their total revenue, what effect will it have on total revenue? If they increase their price by 10% or whatever, decrease their price by 10% according to this type of elasticity, there will be no effect on total revenue. Quantity demanded will change by the same percentage. Here will go down, will go up, but the percentage change, say for example, will be 10%, and here it will go down by 10%. Here it will go down by 10%, and the quantity demanded will increase by 10%. So the percentage changes will be exactly the same. So because of that, what will remain exactly the same? And we put a bar on top of TR. A bar on top means it remains exactly the same. So even if the price increase, total revenue will remain the same. Even if the price decrease, total revenue will remain the same. Why? Because we talk here about unit elastic, where the percentage change in the quantity demanded is equal to the percentage change in the price. But remember, this is just theoretically. Okay? So, yeah, just to summarize, even if you go to that, you can just go to that slide. We summarize the three categories of, the type of elasticity. It shows the relationship between price elasticity of demand and if there's price changes and total revenue. So the first one, ED smaller or bigger than 1, ED greater or smaller than 1, ED equal to 1. So this slide is very, very important in terms of the exam as well as the semester test. Thank you.